Elena, I would like to see the baby soon. When works for you? I can come there if it's easier on you as well. I prefer to be able to pick the baby up and bring him to see family. My sister is in town, and she would love to meet my sweet grandson. But I understand how peculiar you are about him being around new people. I can see that my texts are being read. I wish you would just answer me. I'm not going anywhere. I am here for you, and I love you and grandson so much. I don't want to see either of you suffer. I am notating that once again I am being ignored and denied access to my grandson. Please reach out if you need anything for him. His well-being is more important to me than a petty squabble. Your lack of response is noted. As you will learn very soon, I have petitioned the courts to grant me grandparents' rights. I am not doing this to attack you or hurt you in any way. This is not me getting back at you for cutting me out. I am just very deeply concerned over baby's well-being. There is no shame in getting help, but when you refuse to accept it or reach out, you are not only suffering, but you are making your son suffer as well. I do not want you to feel as though you will lose your son, but I need to make sure he is taken care of while you get back on track. My attorney will be reaching out very soon to give you or your attorney all information you need. I hope this process can be kept civil and we can focus purely on the well-being of baby. Contact my attorney. There is no reason to be texting me. Court is now in session in the matter of visitation rights of the child of Elena. Thank you, Your Honor. I truly believe that this is a simple matter, and that the courts will see it that way as well. I am just a grandmother who is fighting for her right to establish and maintain a relationship with her grandchild. How old is the grandchild in question? He is 12 months old, Your Honor. Can you explain your decision on why you have kept your child from his grandmother? Your Honor, my late husband's mother had not been in my child's life until he was 10 months old and lost his father. His father had cut off contact with his mother at age, and I had never met or spoke to her until I invited her to the funeral. I thought getting to know his family would help us in the grieving process, but I should have respected his wishes and kept her out. What was the reason he cut off his own mother? Honestly, I am not sure of the exact reason. He only ever told me that his mother was controlling and overbearing, and he needed to cut contact with her so that he could live his life how he chose to. He never gave an exact reason, and I didn't push him, but you decided to give her a chance anyways. Why are you now deciding to remove her from your child's life? She began crossing my boundaries and disrespecting my wishes when it came to my child. She had only been involved for a few weeks and already was disregarding me as the mother. She called the cops when I wouldn't answer the door to her and insinuated I was neglecting my son. If she was a healthy and respectful person, I would love for my son to know his father's mother. But at this moment, she has shown me that her presence will bring nothing but stress and trauma to my child. Your Honor, may I explain my side now? Of course, go ahead. Yes, I jumped in feet first after my son died. I was frantic to make up for lost time and wanting that bond with baby, like the one I missed for so long with my son. Yes, I had not seen him for close to a decade. But we did speak occasionally. He texted me just a few weeks before he died. If he hadn't have texted me, I would not have been so determined to be involved. I would have respected his wishes as I had for years. But he said that he would be open to me getting to know baby if I agreed to go to counseling to repair our relationship first. I was willing to do this and even set up an appointment. Unfortunately, he passed before this happened. I have the texts and appointment confirmation here as proof. I was so happy when Eleanor reached out with the funeral invite. I assumed that my son had informed her of his decision. So I tried to act as though we have always been a family. And everything was fine until Elena began to open up about her severe depression. Maybe I was hasty about calling the police. But after her telling me this, and hearing the baby crying like he was, I couldn't help but worry that something terrible happened. I was prepared to come in here asking for some type of custody when I heard CPS became involved. But now that the case is closed, I am just begging to be granted court-ordered visitation. I just want a relationship with my family. I pray the courts can take pity and understand this. Your Honor, I'm not in a deep depression. I suffered a loss, and instead of being allowed to grieve, I have been harassed and overwhelmed by a woman who I have only known for weeks. I am stable, my baby is fine, and I just want her to leave us alone. I understand how difficult the loss of a spouse can be, and I do agree that you need your time with your son to heal. But family is also important, especially to a child that has lost a parent. I believe that it would be in the child's best interest to be allowed to see and spend time with the paternal side of his family. I am not granting overnights or weekend visitations, but I am ordered 1 3-hour visit every other weekend. The location is at the discretion of the parent. It is up to the parent if you would like to be present for the visit or not. As the parent, you are free to impose any rule or regulation you wish to on these visits. The only thing that is ordered is the child must be available for 3 hours once every other week for the visit. Once the child is older and there is a healthy relationship established between them and the grandparent, we can revisit overnight visits. If you choose to start overnights before then, that is perfectly fine. Your Honor, is there no way to give this old lady the ability to bond privately with my grandchild? I wouldn't want to impose, but I worry that Elena will keep baby from actually interacting with me. I appreciate the importance of grandparents in a child's life. As a child, I was raised by my grandmother. But this court will respect a parent's authority unless there is a reason to separate the child from the mother. Communication should be kept to a minimum between parent and grandmother unless it is in regards to the child and visitation. There should be no disparaging comments made about the parties to the child. What about phone calls? I can't build a relationship without being able to talk baby more than twice a month. Ma'am, are you willing to allow reasonable communication between the grandmother and child via video call in between visits? Yes, as long as it is reasonable. What is reasonable, though? She has denied me access for weeks. Who's to say she won't refuse all but 1 call a week? I would like to have a set number to be able to be enforced. I am not setting hard guidelines. You are not the other parent. Communication is to be reasonably accommodated as long as it does not interfere with daily life. Court is dismissed. I am calling to speak to the baby. Please allow me to chat with him for a few minutes so that he can start to remember me and we can discuss visitation this week. I'm sorry, but baby, I'm currently in the bath. We are in the middle of our bedtime routine and will not be able to video chat tonight. The best time for phone calls is between 4 and 5. I am sure you can find 10 minutes to allow me to see him over fast time before he goes to bed. That is not disruptive at all. I could read him a bedtime story, and it could become a part of his routine. I cannot accommodate a video call at this time. Please call tomorrow between 4 and 5. Thank you. I will be notating that you are already refusing phone calls between the baby and I and reporting this to my attorney. You do that.